Matt Ishbia and Brian Gregory of the Phoenix Suns have been doing some good, sneaky moves the last couple of days, and it's been finally revealed Jordan Ott's whole coaching staff. And with that being said, there have been some great people being added, former NBA players, but also former NBA head coaches. So what will this do to hopefully change the notion of the Phoenix Suns coaching carousel with locking in with Jordan Ott and keeping him their foundation for the future? We'll be diving in and exploring all of that and more on this latest episode of Suns Digest. I'm your host, Bruce Veliz. As in this episode today, we're going to go over the latest with the Suns revealing their assistant head coaches and who is going to be joining Jordan Ott on this coaching staff. And I really do appreciate all the love you guys have been showing here down below on these videos. As you guys know, with it being a little bit drier in the offseason, there haven't been as many updates, so the videos have been a little bit more stagnant. But when there is news, we definitely get on top of it, and we have to break this down for you guys. So let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And without further ado, let's dive in and let's talk about the Suns. As this is ultimately interesting, as the Suns, as we know, have had this coaching carousel over these last couple of seasons, having Monty Williams, Frank Vogel, Mike Budenholzer, all coming in and only lasting one season as a head coach. But the Suns want to change that identity, going with Jordan Ott now and hopefully trying to build a good culture of a staff with this team and not having to do that for the next couple of seasons. And with that being said, we have the latest from Dwayne Rankin, courtesy of the Arizona Republic, where he revealed the Suns coaching staff for Jordan Ott this season. So without further ado, let's dive in and let's explore these names. Some of them we already do know of, like we've mentioned here on the channel before in previous videos, but we will go over the list as 7 guys have been revealed as Jesse Mermes, Damari Carroll, Brian Randall, Chason Allen, John Little, Mike Muscala, and Sean Dwyer are all now assistants on Jordan Ott's coaching staff. The Suns also keep Mateen Cleaves serving as the player development coach and leadership assistant. We also found out today, courtesy of Michael A. Scotto, that the Suns are also hiring former NBA coach Steve Clifford, who's had experience with the Hornets and Magic, but also being an assistant for the Knicks, Rockets, Magic, and Lakers as their coaching advisor. He has 23 seasons of NBA coaching experience, and even though Steve Clifford is a little bit more of an older head, kind of maybe more resemblant of the olding coaching style, maybe why he didn't really last as long in Charlotte with their kind of youth movement. I still think his role of a coaching advisor is going to be very key, as he's not going to be someone who's going to be making key industry moves within that thing, but just advising the coaches and looking at what they could do better at, just being another voice in the room. And I think Steve Clifford maintaining that relationship and potentially working into a bigger role with the Suns could be something interesting as well with his respect around the league in the past. But like we mentioned, there are 7 assistant coaches with 1 player development coach also being named as well. And we're going to dive in and explore their backgrounds and what they could really bring for the Suns. Now, we've talked about Damari Carroll and Mike Muscala in previous videos, so if you missed those and want to get a little bit more of an update, go check those out. But first, let's dive into Mermes, who is Ott's most seasoned assistant. As an Arizona graduate, he has been with 6 NBA teams from 2008 to 2024 before joining the Suns. The Tucson native served as an assistant under Jamal Mosley in Orlando for the last 4 seasons, where he has 17 years of NBA experience as an assistant. Personally, I think that sounds absolutely great. For a guy in Jordan Ott who's been a well-known assistant across the league, he obviously has very well respect for these top assistants. And having one of those in, specifically for a new mind, someone that's going to be taking in control and having a seasoned veteran, I think is always going to be key for the Suns, especially if he can be that first voice in the assistant coaching room. He has that experience, he can have that backbone to trust, and if Jordan Ott does have any questions, obviously relying to someone who has very good experience like he has in the past, I think will make sense. Not to mention, obviously, being an Arizona graduate, a Tucson native, having those ties into the state is also going to be beneficial for him and for the fans to kind of count on him this year. Now, next, let's dive in as Damari Carroll. We already know is going to be who served as the Summer League head coach with Justin Allen, or Chason Allen, excuse me, and John Little as an assistant. He is going to be on this staff as well. Now, Little coached their G League team last year, the Valley Suns, in their inaugural season, and they reached the G League playoffs, which was a huge thing for them. Obviously, had the developments of those younger players. Right, Colin Gillespie played on a two-way for a little while before he moved up, but also guys like Ty Washington and Jalen Bridges. Now, unfortunately, none of those guys stuck with the Phoenix Suns as they chose to go different with their two-way contracts this type of season. But it goes to show you that with their kind of youth movement that they're already pushing with their regular roster, they're seemingly pushing it with developing it within their G League. And who knows? Now with them having a G League, maybe some of these young guys can really sprout. And having guys like Damari Carroll, Chase and Allen, and even John Little, who have been on this coaching staff before, still sticking on is going to be great. We obviously know Damari Carroll was an assistant in Cleveland under Jordan Ott last season. He came alongside with him in Jordan Ott, obviously coached underneath him as well with Brooklyn, and played under Jordan Ott when he was a player still in the NBA when Jordan Ott was an assistant in Brooklyn. Randall rejoins the Suns after being an assistant under Monty Williams. He was an assistant with the Washington Wizards last season. He was coaching the Summer League with Damari Carroll and John Little. And then we obviously got Brian Randall, Mike Muscala, and Sean Dwyer. Obviously, Allen is the only carryover from Budenholzer's coaching staff last season. Mike Muscala, we did a video on him, has played 11 NBA seasons, the first 5 under Mike Budenholzer in Atlanta, where Jordan Ott was a video coordinator for the Hawks for those 3 seasons, which is cool to see Jordan Ott having these relationships with his former players and now bringing them on as assistants. And I think Muscala's specifically role in the NBA as a shooting big could be key to what the Suns want to really bring out with some of these double big lineups and really investing with a common Malawachu and Oso Gadaro from the perimeter. So that's something interesting to keep as well. Dwyer served as an associate men's basketball coach at Loyola University Chicago last season, with his 4th year at the university as an assistant. He was previously a student manager at Michigan State before beginning his coaching career as an assistant video coordinator at Florida. Kind of funny for the Michigan State ties there. And then once again, Cleves and Ishbia were teammates in Michigan State's 2000 men's basketball championship team under Tom Izzo. Obviously, we know Ishbia was a walk-on, while Cleves was a 3-time All-American for the Spartans, a first-round pick in the 2000 draft, where he played 6 seasons. Cleves is serving as the player developmental coach and leadership assistant, so having a former NBA player and someone who was pretty dominant in college is going to be someone that's going to fit that role in well, regardless of the connection to Matt Ishbia. But with this being said, all of these people getting added, I think, is nice for the Phoenix Suns, in my opinion. Only one head coach, Chason Allen, is going to be coming over from Mike Budenholzer's system here, as we do see. But I do think that this is going to be very nice for the Suns to bring in some new faces and especially some former players as well. Like we mentioned, Damari Carroll, someone that Jordan has worked with and has coached. Mike Muscala, someone that he is also was a video coordinator under Mike Budenholzer while he was there. Having those types of relationships is not only just key to show you what Jordan can do just in his relationship building off the court, but shows, I think, what he can do with these players on the court as well. And I think him not only understanding these guys and trying to buy into them a little bit more compared to some of those older coaches that the Suns had in previous seasons is a win. But for the fact that they have players that have kind of just recently come out of the league in the last 5 to 10 years that can still make an impact as voices and leaders to some of these guys, I think is also going to be key. Some of these guys that are still on the Suns have played against Damari Carroll, have played against Mike Muscala. They have that experience. And if they're obviously seeing someone that they've competed against now coming in to coach them, they're going to have some sort of level of respect for those guys and trust their words because they respect their values, because they understand that they've played the game. They've been in their situations. They know what they understand what these players have to go through every single day. So I think that type of relationship is going to be very key. I like that the Suns have kind of had a good mix here with this assistant head coaching group, and I'm kind of bought into it. Obviously, once again, it's not going to be a coaching staff that's maybe going to be top 3 best in the league, but it's definitely going to be better than last season, and that's what we want to see on the roster, on and off the court, coaching staff, front office. We just want to see this team grow and be better compared to last year, and even though that might not be a lot to ask for going into the season because last year was a total disaster, we obviously don't want to be at that bottomless pit again, looking and saying what went wrong with this new identity. clearly want to kind of fix those issues, and I think trying to buy into that is going to be the key. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Obviously, we're going to have to see the results, but I'm intrigued by this new head coaching search or head coaching staff, to add to Jordan Ott and what they can really bring for the Phoenix Suns. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. You guys ultimately think, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, and go Phoenix Suns.